Welcome to another exciting episode of Wine Down with Kev. Always like to start with an attitude of gratitude. So thank you, and you for taking time out of your busy day, whether you're watching us live on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. Thank you. You are appreciated. Also, thank you. Special thanks to all of you that have already done the right thing. Y'all know what that is. You already clicked the subscribe and notification button so you can get dope content like this when it comes out. If you haven't done it already, join the community. Click the subscribe and notification button. Also, I'd be remiss if I did not thank my sponsor, B-File Systems. If you're looking for automation to improve your retention, write more business this year, please check out B-File Systems. Click on the link below. Thank me later. That being said, I am so happy today to be in studio live today with a live guest. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to be here with one of, I'll say, young guns, community leaders, also in the financial services space on the other side, a gentleman that I know of his family. They are Long Island legendary. I know him. We walk in the same circles. We go to the same events. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Just give a warm Wine Down with Kev welcome with some love emojis, some clap hands, some pump your fists to Kyle Booker. Yeah.
What's up?
Kyle, what's going on, my brother? We good?
Everything's good, man. I love your setup. I love what you're doing, man. Everything is beautiful. Another wine dancing.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
No problem, man. We're going to have a positive podcast, but I have a problem. I have beef because you are nicks down and you caught me slipping underneath the blazer, y'all. I got on a Chicago shirt, Bulls colors, and it's supposed to be Knicks and six. And Kyle come in shining, dressy, nice, casual Knicks shirt. He got the hat, and he got a flex I haven't seen.
Yeah,
the watch in the ring. There's levels to this. Talk to me.
There's multiple levels.
Get to the business.
Good little Navy timer. You know, little Cartier with a splash, man. Cartier. You know.
He caught me slipping, y'all. I had
I know he got the Ewing jersey on under the shirt.
I'm taking the jacket off. Chi-town, and I lived in Chicago for 9 years.
Yeah.
I watched and lost all 6 championships. And today, you come in. I'm good with it. Yep, I'm good. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm slipping, man.
Got you.
I got a string on. Chi-town, I showed up wrong. New York, my apologies. My heart and mind is in the right place.
It's all good.
We're recording this on April 30th. Game 6, Knicks in 6 tonight. But anyway, I digress. New York, my apologies. Kyle caught me slipping, just like being from Wine Dance. He's in my face right away.
All
Kyle,
good.
Let's open up. So happy to have you here.
Appreciate it.
Talk to me about your Long Island origin story. Give the people a thorough introduction of yourself. I know your family is originally from Wine Dance, but where were you born and raised at?
Yeah, I was actually born and raised in Lakeview, New York.
Okay.
You know, 25-year real estate veteran. I own Booker's Real Estate Solutions, which is we're nationwide now, which is I got to clap it up for that because it took a very long time for us to get this established. But yeah, what I used to do was my mother, father, and actually my wife as well all went to Wine Dance High School. And all of my family grew up in Wine Dance, and I was the guy that came out on the weekends for a very, very long time. So, you know, my mother, she grew up in Dinwiddie, Virginia, and they moved to Wine Dance in 1960. So it's really interesting. So in 1960, they ended up moving to Wine Dance because my parents wanted, my grandparents, sorry, they wanted to purchase a home and they couldn't purchase it in Dinwiddie, Virginia. Now, you got to remember, during that time was redlining.
Of course.
There was also deed restrictions. There were a lot of things that wouldn't allow a thriving Black family to own a home.
Okay.
So what do? Y'all listen, bring the kids.
Yes.
We're moving to
Yes.
WineDown.
Yes.
And that's what they did. So they bought their house in 1960 on Lake Drive.
Okay.
It was a if anybody knows WineDown, I had to do a little bit of history on WineDown. It was actually like a small kind of beach town back in the day.
1960, very, 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 very small.
Yeah, it was a lot of small bungalows, small houses, and a lot of them were like second houses to other people where, you know, they really didn't stay in it year round. So they were able to purchase one of these bungalows, and you know, it's been in the family ever since. And we actually almost lost it, you know, about
That part.
maybe 5 years ago.
Okay.
My grandparents died. We almost lost it, and I ended up buying a house.
Now that's a beautiful story that I definitely want to get in. I want to stay in your origin story, and I want to give you a chance to acknowledge your beautiful wife and your family before we go there.
For sure.
But that almost lost house story, that's a generational wealth conversation that we're not gonna let go.
No,
Okay.
Sure.
So,
No,
but
sure.
you talked about your parents, your grandparents. I would be a bad host.
Yeah.
I've seen you and your wife on social media acknowledging
for
some
sure.
significant anniversaries. I've seen your children. So
Yeah.
let's show them some love before we get to the business.
No, for sure. You know, it's actually funny. I've known my wife since I was 8 years old. We met at that house that we now own together, my grandparents' house, because she was a good friend of my first cousin. And she was always like taboo. Like I would come over and I would be like, oh my God, she's so pretty. And I couldn't talk to her. But as we got older, we understood like how we connected,
Right.
you know, and it took a long time for us to get there. But yeah, we're gonna be celebrating our 10th year anniversary next year. So this year, September 1st, will be our 9 years, but we'll be in our 10th year of wedded bliss. You know,
show some love
yeah.
and the emojis for that. Happy
Yeah.
10th anniversary.
For sure.
Origin story. That's like loving basketball, seeing it 8 years old, but life keeps coming and you make the connection later.
Yeah.
And then it happens.
Yeah.
All right.
For sure.
I want to start with your grandparents. And I want to ask a question, a story. One of the best historians in WineDown is my classmate, my friend Anton John.
Okay.
Carver Park. Booker, Davison, Cumberbatch. Is Booker Ave named after your family?
I wish it was. Yeah, you would think so, and I get that all the time. You would think so, because we just have so many generations that grew up there. Okay. But no, I even tried to buy a couple of houses on Booker.
Yeah.
And I put it in the little note like, yo, listen, my name is, look at what it is.
I'm a Booker, hold that.
Exactly. But it didn't work. But no, we don't have any, not that I know.
Okay.
We don't have any ownership of that area or any reason that they called it Booker.
Okay.
Yeah.
My understanding was, and maybe it's the Davisons and the Cumberbatch. I know the Davison family. I know what they owned across the street, the big construction place.
For sure.
But back to you, from growing up, your family's legacy story. Fast forward to, let's call it the corner. Now let's not go there yet. Let's talk about the team you're leading today, from humble beginnings, from your grandparents being unable to get started to getting started, to you owning the house today. Talk to me about the team you lead today, and talk to me about Booker Solutions.
Yeah, so Booker's Real Estate Solutions basically came out of a point of desperation. It was, I wasn't able to do what I wanted to do and serve the people I wanted to serve. So just so you know, when I first started 20 something years ago, I started really heavy in Harlem.
Okay.
And actually Jeff Canada was one of the people
Shout
that brought me out there.
Jeff Canada. Shout out WineDown's own, our finest, most achieved citizen that we have. Yeah. What's up, Jeff?
Yeah. So Jeff actually, I was working with Jeff out there with Harlem Children's Zone, as kind of like a real estate concierge, kind of talking to different talking points about real estate with the kids. So my father actually played basketball with Jeff Canada at WineDown, and that's how they got together. And my pops just was like, yo, listen, if that's if he's asking you to go,
Then go.
you know?
Yeah.
So I spent about 8 years in Harlem, and that's when I really started getting into real estate and understanding what I wanted to do. And the bigger companies didn't allow me to do that, which was really grassroots work. That's what I wanted to do.
All right. So let's stay in Harlem for a second.
Yeah.
The year is the early 2000s.
Yeah.
All right. At that time, Harlem wasn't what Harlem is today.
Not even close.
The central pivotal thing that changed the real estate values, correct me if I'm wrong, is when Clinton left office and he put his office on 125th Street.
Yeah.
It went from the place that we used to go to shop at for all of the fresh stuff. When we was living in Chicago, we'd always go to 125th to shop. But once Clinton came there, the whole thing gentrified.
Changed.
So now you have the value shot through the roof.
For sure.
Those 126th Street buildings they couldn't give away, but now you have Whole Foods, you have Magic Johnson theaters.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing. Were you there during that transition?
I was there. I was there throughout that transition. I remember his office. It was a big thing. His office was on Adam Clayton Powell and 125th Street. And that was like I would have to go that way to get home. Like I would walk past his office every day. And you know, it was a quick change. Like it wasn't like it was a very acute change to the point where, you know, I was probably out there for maybe a year before that had happened. And it was easy to go back and forth and kind of move around how you wanted to move. But once his office was there, it was heavy security, 125th all the way down, Lenox, Adam Clayton Powell, and you couldn't really move around. Funny story, really quick. So I worked on 128th and Lenox.
Okay.
And I would that was like my area, kind of just moving around and doing a lot of work. And I remember I got off of work really late one night. It was probably like 9-10 o'clock at night. And I'm walking around, you know, and this is all news is gone and media is gone, and you know, security is not really heightened right there. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, I don't have any money. I got to go to the ATM. So the ATM was across the street from his office on Adam Clayton Powell's at Chase Bank. And I go to the Chase Bank, I'm getting the money out, and I don't know, it was probably like $100, something, nothing too crazy. So I'm getting the money out really quick. I put it in my pocket, I turn around, and it's Cameron and Freaky Zeke.
Are you serious?
Sitting at the window.
Wow.
But I didn't know who they were at the time.
Killer
they were
Cam.
just banging on the window, and I'm like, not getting
not me, not here, not tonight.
So I ended up walking out, and then as I got closer to the window, I recognized like, oh, okay, that's Cam and Freaky. They wilding right now. But I guess there was like a party or something, because it was like a Friday night, so it was like a party or something. That's when the skate key and all that was still rocking a little bit. So yeah, they shocked me, but yeah. So I digress though.
That's Harlem. All right, we're gonna
yeah.
I'm gonna throw some landmarks out in Harlem, and we're gonna get back to the business.
For sure.
If you ever visit New York on 125th Street, there's certain landmarks. Let's start with Jeffrey, Canada. Harlem Children's Zone is right there.
Clap it up for
Let's
him.
go up the street to the Apollo Theater, live at the Apollo, and let's walk a little bit further down to Magic Johnson's theaters. And maybe we turn the corner, maybe we stop in Sylvia's, or we walk a few blocks and we go to Amy Ruth's. What did I miss? What would you recommend to anybody coming to New York in this nationwide audience? If they want to pop up to 125th, what would you have them visit? What did I miss?
Honestly, my spot was always a little bit further up. It was 20 blocks up. It was 155th and Riverside. When I say you get amazing views of the water and just walking, I little cheat sheet. I used to live on 155th and Broadway, and I would walk from Broadway over to Riverside, and I would walk on Riverside all the way down to 72nd Street. And that was like my Saturday thing. I would walk my dog and just run or whatever have you. But it was like an off the beaten path that a lot of people didn't understand was there.
You got the view of the water.
Yep.
Everything is
Everything,
there. You got
Jersey
you
is
got
there.
the park. You're looking across at New Jersey. That's a beautiful walk. And that's an affordable date.
Yeah, it was. It was very affordable. It was very affordable. You got to remember, I was in my 20s when I lived out there. So yes, very, very affordable. And listen, it was good. Like we would go we would go downtown, which we would call downtown, which was like south of 125th Street. You know, we would do that so often, but staying between probably 120th and 155th, going up to 158th was like that was
That's
like
it.
my zone.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that was my zone.
Yeah.
For sure.
And we didn't even go to Rucker Park, but we're not gonna go there. All right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about.
Well, I'm a ball player too, so
okay,
you know.
Okay. I did not know. I'm not gonna jump the ball conversation.
Yeah.
Did you play in Rucker Park, and did you play in other
Not.
legendary pickup?
I played some legendary pickup ball, but it was actually indoors. They used to have a lot of boys and girls clubs that we would play at. Man, I always forget this young man's name. He was an actor. He played 50. Did he play 50 Cent? He played in one of those Get Rich or Die Trying movies, but he was the little kid in the 50 Cent Get Rich or Die Trying movie, and he played in some other major roles. I'll remember his name later, but I played pickup ball with him quite often. For him to be 5'1", he was amazing. Had game.
You can always find that's what New York City, the street ball.
Yeah.
Let's come back to the island for a second.
For sure.
The first time you got my attention, you had, and you still have, when you first get off exit 36 North and come into WineDown, you've got this amazing billboard, the first thing you see in town.
Yeah.
And what I understand, I have my assistant Claude do some research on you. This I didn't know. You taught the corner classes.
I did.
Let's talk about that.
So in 2017, I remember distinctly the summer of 2017, because my son was born April 9th, 2017. And I just felt like a real strong move for me to do something inside of, like, and it was for no pay at all,
right?
You know, so we set up on Straight Path and Lake Drive, but it was actually, that's not Lake. It is Lake, but it turns into something else. But we'll just say at the old Pete's Deli.
Straight Path in Jefferson, intersection of Mount Avenue. It's a parking lot now.
Yeah, gotcha. And it's a parking lot. And I just felt the need to go somewhere and just kind of talk to people in passing how they felt about real estate, because I felt the change that was coming. I said to my wife, I said, yo, I see how they're starting to build up these, you know, the train station. I see how they're starting to build up, you know, they were in talks to doing the sewers over, and everything was, the infrastructure was coming.
See, so what I like about that is you lived it in Harlem and you foresaw it coming, and you get led to go to the corner to start having conversations about real estate.
Yeah. And I think that it had to be from what I saw in Harlem. I saw how Harlem changed.
Right.
I saw it. Like, I literally was there when some of the biggest clubs that were on Lenox and 125th and all these iconic clubs were getting closed down.
Right.
And they would get closed down to revitalize the area and regentrify the area and kind of bring new money in.
Right.
And when I came back out to Long Island, I came back out because my grandfather was sick.
Right.
And I ended up living on Jefferson first. We owned the house on Jefferson first. And, you know, I just saw, you know, what was happening.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, this is like the same thing
Sometimes
that Harlem.
You see a pattern that's obvious and you got to do it.
Yeah.
You start the corner classes. There's a lot going on Straight Path. And for my national audience, we call Straight Path, but the formal name is Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard.
Sure.
In any community in America, if there's a street named Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard, unfortunately, is probably the most violent street in the country,
That's
probably with the worst activity in the country. But you take it right there to the corner, and anybody pass through that corner, they're not looking for real estate. So how did they receive those? How did they receive those conversations?
We had some great conversations, bro.
Let's talk about
it. We're talking about from alcoholics, crackheads. We would talk just in general, the people, and the reason why I wanted to do that, because I saw the nomadic type of life that some people lived, and they use that kind of walkway to get from what we call the sticks up to straight path to where everything was kind of going. So that was very strategic. I wanted to be there, and I wanted to see those people, and I wanted to have that conversation. And the reason I wanted to have that conversation was I just believe that even the worst person or the most probably non-connected person is going to repeat what you're going to say to them in some type of way. So they could be getting high or whatever have you, but they're going, this guy is over there. He's talking about real estate and da-da-da. And it kind of ballooned from there to where now I was starting to meet different people and starting to have these different conversations. And that actually brought me to Spin the Yard.
Okay.
And then I started doing stuff at Spin the Yard, and Spin the Yard brought me up the block to where my billboard is, to where I met Jeff. And Jeff, shout out to Jeff, he's a great guy.
Shout out to Jeff Garrett.
Yeah, great guy. And he, we sparked the conversation. I was like, I want to do something that's impactful. And I said, what do you mind? Would you mind if I put this billboard? And he was like, go for it. And so that's that small little thing.
But it transpires from you being led to do something that nobody else is doing.
Yeah.
I have nothing to add to a takeaway from that story because nobody had ever done it before. Nobody's doing it again. Right now, that same corner is a landmark. That's where we put the sign for Daryl Chill Mitchell Wine Dancer's own.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's going to be the ambulance corps.
That's what's coming in?
Yes.
Well, you know what the beautiful about the connectivity is Daryl, we gave away the turkeys for Thanksgiving, but he served in the ambulance corps.
That's awesome.
So to have that place there with his name in the front, when we did that with the town, no matter what was coming there, they were going to maintain the integrity for him and Ra's signs. But that's just another story for another day.
Yeah, amazing.
So my assistant, Claude, when he checked you out, he said they call you the positivity pusher. What's that all about?
I think that you could bring positive vibes or positive energy from wherever you go. I just really feel like that in the worst situations. And I've been in a lot of precarious situations from living where I was not familiar in Harlem. I had to meet a lot of different people. I had to go through a lot of different scenarios. And I always felt like as long as I come with a smile, and it's kind of like peace. Everybody that knows me, everybody that knows me knows the first thing you're gonna see from me is peace and a smile.
Right.
Yo, peace.
Right.
Yo, peace.
Straight up.
Peace.
Yeah.
And I just always kind of took that to wherever I am, wherever I sit my feet and I plant myself, it's always positive, and it's always you're gonna get a smile.
Let's today the gospel of peace. You're just spreading it wherever you are. That's a beautiful vibe.
That's a fact.
That's how you build community everywhere. You being born and raised in Lakeview, but in Wine Ranch on the weekends, community is important to build it. Harlem,
never seen anything like
back
it.
home. It's real different the way you move and what you put together.
Yeah.
Talk to me about real estate in the game. 25, 26 years. What sparked your interest? How'd you get into it?
Honestly, I didn't want to be in it. It was funny because so I went to school. I went to Nassau Community. Shout out to anyone that
I was
went
there
to
last
Nassau
weekend.
Community.
That's a big campus.
Huge campus.
I was lost for 15 minutes. They had to speak there last Saturday.
Huge. But a lot of people they don't pay attention to how important Nassau is to kind of molding a lot of kids. That might not be your last stop, but it's usually a lot of people's first stop to figure out what they want to do.
Right.
So I went there, and I did a little hustling on the side or whatever have you. So I made a little bit of money. And one of my friends, he was studying for the series 7 series. Yeah. He's studying to be a stockbroker.
Okay, excellent.
So his office, series 7. So his office was right next to the campus.
Okay.
So everybody knows when you're studying, you don't have any money.
No.
But he knew I hustled a little
bit.
You know what I'm saying? So he would call me, yo, what's going on? Yo, can I just borrow $100 till next week? Great friend of mine. So I'll come up there, drop off the money. So one day I'm dropping the money off, and instead of hitting up, I hit down. In the basement, there was a mortgage office.
Wow.
So I get off. I'm like, I'm in the basement. What the hell is this? And there's this big black dude with, it looked like he had chiclets in his mouth. What's going on? You want a job? And I'm like, no.
All right.
I hit up and I'm like,
yeah.
And I went, yo, Ron, like this guy tried to give me a job.
Yeah,
He was like,
yeah.
oh yeah, there's a mortgage office down there. We
Yeah.
call it the dungeon. Da da da. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, he's bugging. Gave him the money, left. Next week, same exact thing happens. My man was like, yo,
Meant
can I
to be.
borrow $100? I was like, yeah, I got you. Come up there. Same exact thing. Hit up, went down. The same exact
Meant
guy
to
with
be.
the chiclets. You must want a job.
Yeah, yeah.
I said-
You back.
And the way that my brain works,
Yeah.
I was like, things just don't happen to happen.
No. There's no accidents.
And even back then, that's how my brain just worked.
Yeah.
I just kind of went where I felt I should go.
Right.
I started that job the same day
Are you kidding?
on the phone for probably 6 hours. My friend is blowing up my phone. I'm working.
No.
And
I got a job, B. That stuff that's behind me. I'm working now. Somebody gave me a shot.
Yo, it's crazy. So I started literally in the boiler room, just making cold calls, and it was like a knack that I had. Like I was able to connect with people through the phone. People I'd never saw before.
Yeah.
Now I never told them that my name was Kyle Booker. It was always Scott Feinberg. But
Hey, all right,
my name was Scott Feinberg.
Let's code switch real quick. What
Yeah,
does Scott Feinberg sound like?
Scott Feinberg is a guy that he just wants to get you the best rate and have the best cash out possible for you.
Let's go. We got a code switch to get the money.
Yeah. So I won't personally be able to come to your house to do the appraisal and everything else, but I can put you on with someone that can definitely get that done for you. How's that sound?
That sounds good. So I'm gonna make you laugh. My nephew worked in one of those boiler room environments.
Yeah.
Picture boiler room, right?
Yeah.
People calling dialing for dollars, and he cranked me.
Yeah.
Because he cranked me so good in a Scott Feinberg type voice.
Yes.
When I opened my agency, he was my first hire.
Mm-hmm.
And he hit me with this. Now, Mr. Span, I'm not going to waste your time, and don't you waste mine.
Uh-huh.
If you don't have $250,000 liquid you can put in the market right now, just hang up. If you do, let's keep talking.
Yeah, there you go.
I said, excuse me? He said, what's up, Unc? I got a job.
Perfect. I love it. How old was he when he was doing that?
Oh, he was in his early 20s, man.
Awesome.
He was in his early 20s. He got me, and it wasn't a few years later so I started, and I knew I would hire him. Fast forward, he had his own all-state agency, and everything great happened from the code switch.
Yeah.
So you got into it, mortgages, natural transition into real estate. Let's take the real estate story, and let's take it personal. Let's go back home to your grandparents almost losing a house. And let me say this, your family came to wine in 1960. My family's been in wine since 1956. There are other families that are longer tenured than us.
For sure.
And most of the families that came early, they were military veterans. My dad was World War II.
Yeah.
They bought houses for maybe 15 grand.
Yep.
And the value of them is through the roof today. Not as much as other communities. We lost a lot of equity because of a lot of things. Not here to talk about it today for that.
Yeah.
But so many people lost their family homes.
Yeah.
And that's an emotional place. So let's go back to that place of almost losing it. And how did you hold on to it?
First off, don't lose grandma's house, man.
Say that.
Don't
Say
lose
that.
grandma's house.
Say that. Clip that. Don't lose grandma's house. Go ahead.
Grandma's house. So
Yes.
what happened was, you know, I have a big family, but all of us aren't as financially stable as we would like to be. So I really didn't know what was going on. My mother, she ended up being the executor for the estate. And I didn't know that they were trying to get like either a sister to buy a house or my aunts or whatever have you, but nothing really panned out. So she called me. She was like, if you don't buy the house, then we're selling it. Right. And I was like, I don't want to buy that house.
Right.
I don't want it.
Right.
And I didn't want it.
Right.
And it was really I don't want to say for selfish reasons, but I was still into flipping houses. And I knew that if I took on this house, it was going to hurt me doing something else that was going to be more lucrative.
Right.
So fast forward, you know, once my mother said, yo, listen, we're going to put this house on the market, she knew that was twisting my arm.
Right.
You know, she knew it was twisting my arm because I knew the history of the house.
Right.
I had 7 aunts that grew up in that house.
Wow.
I myself grew up in that house.
Right.
Every Christmas was at that house.
Right.
Every Thanksgiving was at
Right.
that house. And this is before it got expanded. If you see
Right.
the house now, it's expanded, but this was when it was a super small house. I have pictures that I was a baby in my mother's arms at that house. So she knew where to hit me. She was like, well, I'm gonna have to sell it. She knew I was gonna buy the house. I was like, all right, figure out what you guys want for it. I'll pay for it. Because it was basically the house was paid off, but the taxes were there. So the taxes were the ones that were in arrears, and that's where the threat came from.
That's where we get caught.
Yeah, that's where the threat came. So the house was paid off, but the threat was with the taxes. No one was paying the taxes. So I had to catch the taxes up. The house was in horrible disrepair. Ended up buying the house cash and then put another $200,000 into it, and now it's what it is. Like on Lake Drive, it's one of the bigger, nicer houses that are there. And my family still lives there.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so let's get into some real estate and mortgage education. You and I had a sidebar conversation about this only because some things I'm going through in my house, my family house. What is the type of loan that someone can get to buy the house for whatever it needs to be buy for to stay in the family, and they can also do borrow additional money so they can repair it?
Yeah, so you're gonna do one of two things. You're gonna either have a FHA 203K loan, which that's kind of like the standardized renovation loan. Comes with a lot of rules. Or you would do what's called a Fannie Mae home style loan. I like to go Fannie Mae home style because it's conventional. It's not a FHA loan. There are a lot less rules to go by. You get a better appraised kind of value from a Fannie Mae home style loan. But those are the two loans. And then what's even better is you can put that with a down payment assistance program to where now you are getting in the house with no money down. And then on top of that, you're financing, let's say $150,000 to fix up the house and your closing costs.
All right. So I'm going to use one of my timeouts. You got to know your Knicks gear. So I'm going to take it like a ball game. Use my timeout.
There you go.
I follow everything that you said, but one thing jumped out. You said getting a house with no money down.
Yeah.
Kyle, you know this. People watching this, you know this. People are paying more money in rent than it is for a mortgage. And the mental financial block is very hard to live on Long Island and pay what you need to pay for rent, for your car, for your insurance, and just to live, to also at the same time save the money for a homeowner. So please, I'd be remiss if we didn't take the last few minutes for you to expand on the down payment assistance program. Who's it for? Who does it qualify for? And then I'll take the next step.
Yeah, no, for sure. So there's a few down payment assistance programs. You have one very popular one in Long Island from LIHP, Long Island Housing Partners. And then you have a Sony May that also gives down payment assistance. Those are the two in New York that are very unique. And they're unique because you can actually get into them with a minimum FICO score of 620. Very important caveat that a lot of people don't know. Anywhere in this country, if you want a down payment assistance program, you want down payment assistance, and like LIHP is just that area or that company that is in our area that provides that down payment assistance.
I have a good idea what the acronym is for, but share it with the audience. What is LIHP?
Long Island Housing Partners. Yeah. So Long Island Housing Partners is a very small company that just gives down payment assistance. It's in certain different areas, times. I can't tell you the times. I can't tell the areas. I don't know when they start, when they finish. I always just check into them. So in order for you to get these down payment funds, you have to have a certification course. Certification course is usually anywhere between an hour to 8 hours. And generally, so you have someone that is connected to HUD, that is a HUD's housing specialist. And you go through them, they'll give you the certification, and then you can apply for a down payment assistance program. A lot of people don't understand that. They're just like, oh, they got free money. No, you got to jump through this
You have-
one hoop first.
There's so what I like about what you're saying is some education.
Oh, that's all I do. Bro.
The certification is education, so
Yes.
you know what this home ownership thing is, because here's some of the conversations not happening in our community, in every community in America. It transcends, every neighborhood changes, but the conversation is the same. Some people think, you said the grandmother's home was paid off, but there was taxes.
Yes.
Well, some people think young children, nieces, nephews, 20s, 30s, 40s think that we're good. They don't know about taxes, especially on Long Island and a lot of places. Nassau Suffolk County is some of the highest tax in the country.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yes,
right. So
sure.
there's that piece that has to be paid. So there's nothing for free. And then there's this other little thing that requires the lights to be on and gas. And although the house is paid for, none of that gets done for free.
Yes.
So you've taken that from the corner class, the positivity pusher. One of the things we said offline before we got on the podcast, you said you feel like you're really in the right place with the right team right now. Talk about your team that you're leading right now, on serving on, how many people, what's involved.
Yeah. So recently, the way that I was able to get licensed in 50 states was me strategically partnering with the right people. And my nationwide partner for real estate sales, because I'm a broker as well, so I sell houses, is Keller Williams. So Keller Williams allows me to, if I'm speaking to someone in Mississippi, they can say, hey, well, we've been looking to purchase this house. If I'm speaking to someone in Virginia, if I'm speaking to someone in California, Alaska, doesn't matter.
Okay, so I'm gonna use my second time out. We got time on the clock.
For sure.
A lot of people in New York are looking south. They're looking Texas. I love Texas.
Love Texas. Shout out to Houston, man.
Nobody's talking about Tennessee. Yep, Bart, I'm putting you on blast. Nashville is next level. You better think about Tennessee.
Is it?
Yep. Oh,
nice. I didn't know.
Nashville is one of the best kept secrets in the country. I don't travel without looking around while I may go to speak or for business.
Yeah.
I'm always looking at the houses.
Of course,
South Carolina, but most New Yorkers
are
thinking about after retirement not paying the taxes. So anybody that has that thought can work with you.
That's a fact. And that, I honestly, I thought about that because I was in 2022, 23, I was doing a lot of loans in Long Island, and I was seeing, well, both doing the loans and I was also selling the houses. So I was acting as a dual agent, and a lot of my clients, they're on average, they were paying about $5,000, $5,500 a month.
Yeah.
For a total mortgage, principal, interest, tax, insurance. Yes. This is before the electric. This is before, you know, your need to have things to live, like eating. We like to eat.
That whole Cosby Show exercise where he goes through the money with Theo. He said, "You haven't eaten yet. You haven't eaten yet."
Exactly. So we like to eat. But here's the thing: I started to notice, like, you know, these people aren't. They're struggling. Like they're struggling, and it was to the point where I was doing a lot of co-borrowers and co-signers, and rent out this part of your basement or rent out this room or whatever have you, to where I finally got it in my head. I'm like, yo, everybody can't stay in Long Island. Some people might have jobs that will transfer them to South Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia. I have one right now that's in Maryland, you know, and people are coming from New York and they're saying, yo, it might be a little bit too expensive.
Yeah.
I can't afford a $600,000 house.
Yeah.
So they go 280, 300, and they're comfortable in other places. So that's where it came from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. All right. Let's begin to land the plane. I think we touched on a lot of things. Your financial education, just this conversation, we could have spent this whole time talking about Nixon 6 and it would be easy.
That's a fact. Love it.
We talk about that easy. We don't have these hard conversations within families.
Yeah.
I'm going to say something. I want you to react to it. Next big holiday coming up, 2 of them coming up in the month of May. Mother's Day and Memorial Day. If families are going to church with mama and having soul food Sunday afterwards, or if they're cooking out on the barbecue on Memorial Day, how does the family start the financial conversation about what's the financial story of the house? Where we at? How do we start that conversation so we can talk about it?
Unfortunately, a lot of people don't have that conversation. I feel like it should be normalized. I
Yeah.
feel like knowing, that you can purchase a house and not have this huge rent that's over your head, or you could purchase for the same amount but then gain equity, should be a regular conversation while we're sitting there and we're BSing, kikiing, and we're playing the spades game. No, not during spades. Don't do it during
No,
spades.
we're not talking during spades. No talking.
But do it like
That's sacred. Yeah.
drink your whiskey outside and have the conversation while the barbecue is going.
Yeah.
Listen, FICO score 620. That's all you need. Listen, down payment assistance. Did you know you can get this house with no money down, et cetera, et cetera. And I think that it takes one person to start the conversation. Usually, if I'm the person to start, I'm usually starting it with someone that's a little bit older.
Okay.
It's usually me and my mom are in cahoots anyway.
Okay,
we do
you.
everything together, so she knows if I'm starting that conversation where I'm trying to go.
She's hitting you in your spot so you can make the shot.
And then I'm going to my nephews. So I started with her because we're in cahoots, and then I'm usually going towards my nephews because they're getting older in age now. They're between 21 and 25, 26 now, and we're kind of having those conversations now that we never would have had before, which I feel like are super important. You can have a baby tomorrow, bro. Are you ready?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Things that we're like, you're having all the fun as an adult, but not having the education that an adult needs to take care of home. So definitely. Someone has to start it.
Somebody has to start it. So with that being said, I'm going to strongly suggest that people invite you to Soul Food Sunday and that they invite you to the cookout so you can be that person.
I'm down.
Real talk. How can people get in touch with you to talk to you about your services? Go ahead and promote yourself.
Yeah.
Talk about the business, talk about your social media, and talk about anything you're doing in the community that people can catch you at.
Yeah, for sure. So number one, I'm on IG, Booker's Real Estate Solutions. Also, I don't mind, call me 347-793-9236. I'm like, what's the guy? Mike Jones, 347-793-9236. You can call me, text me first though, because these wild phone calls that I get, scam likely. I don't like.
No.
So text, best is to shoot me a text. Every Thursday I have a Zoom call. If you go to my IG, the link is in my bio, and it's really just curated around people just asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go through down payment assistance and what's needed. I'll go through what an average mortgage costs, what you need to get into a house, interest rates around this time. I also do a lot of products and what you can get for your product. Very important. I would be remiss if I did not mention this. Renovation loans are the key to a first-time home buyer to get what they want.
Right.
What do you want?
Right.
You want equity.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to buy the house for $600,000 and then the house is worth $580,000.
No.
You don't want to buy the house for $700,000 and the house is worth $650,000. You want to buy the house for $500,000 and you're fitting into the market median area of $600,000-$700,000.
Right.
And how do you do that? You do it through renovation loans. So, like everyone knows, these Long Island houses are very old, right? Get into a house that's old, pre-foreclosure, list pendants, et cetera, do a kitchen, bathroom, spend $75,000 and triple the equity right away. And on top of that, you can do down payment assistance as well to get you in the house with no money down. Now you're getting an affordable custom house. Just makes sense.
It makes dollars. It makes sense. Kyle, any closing thoughts before we wrap it up? That was powerful.
Yeah. Nah, man. I is a long time coming, and I really do appreciate you having me. I always been kind of on the out looking in, like, man, Kevin's doing his thing, man. Kevin's doing his thing. I love it. But I feel like it's really important just to kind of definitely key in on those hard conversations, like you were saying, which are financial conversations. Don't be afraid to ask the questions. Don't be afraid to bring it up. If you are broke or hungry, but we say it like an old school way, closed mouths don't get fed.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So ask the hard questions, suck up your ego, And you know, there's something around the corner, and whatever's hard, if you're doing those hard things, your life will get a lot easier as you go through the hard things that you don't want to do. That's a fact.
That's power. I want to end it right there because that's so powerful. But there's two things I didn't ask you about:
Mhm.
Whiskey and Cigars podcast.
Yeah, so I had to take a break from cigars and whiskey. Um, I had a health scare last year.
Okay.
I had two different things. I had heart surgery and I also had pancreatitis. So I had to take a break from doing, but you're still my brothers at Cigars and Whiskey on IG. They're great. Every once in a while I'll stop in. I won't drink with them, unfortunately. I won't have a cigar with them, but I will crack a bunch of jokes.
Okay.
And that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's
You
about.
can still give to the party.
Yeah, exactly.
Your health scare. Health is wealth. You're a young man that had a health scare. What would you say to the audience about health is wealth and getting checked out? Because you look phenomenal, good height.
Thank you.
Even basketball weight. If you got 2 minutes of playing time tonight, what would you say about health?
Yeah, I mean, what the most important thing I would say is don't wait until it's too late. If you have little things that are ailing you, they're ailing you. Your body's telling you something's going on. I was having severe heart races that lasted 3 days straight. And I just kept on ignoring it. And next thing I knew, my wife is bringing them to the hospital and I'm on the gurney and they're having heart surgery.
So severe heart races.
Yeah.
3 days, not reacting.
Yeah.
Did it feel like you were playing ball and that you hadn't done anything? You hadn't done any exercise? Or would you just be chilling like we are now and all of a sudden the heart is beating fast?
It would be like this. And I would equate it to anxiety. I thought I had anxiety.
Okay.
I didn't know I had a heart problem. I thought that I was like in high pressure situations that I couldn't handle.
Okay.
And once it was going 1, 2, 3 days, I was like, I had to speak to my wife, like, but she knew. She would see me and she would always try, but I'm hard-headed. I'm just naturally like, I'm just hard-headed. So I would say to her, and then finally she sat with me at night and she was like having her hand on my heart.
Yeah.
She was like,
we gotta go. We gotta go.
And the doctor said to me right before they performed the procedure, he was like, how long is this? I said 3 days. He said, yo, you're at, I think it was 300 something beats per minute. And it was constantly like that. And he said, yo, there's a chance that if you would have went to sleep, you weren't waking up.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Kyle, do you mind sharing exactly what it was?
Man, I really do forget exactly what it was because I can't remember the technical term. It wasn't blockage. It was something like it was arrhythmia.
Yeah.
It was arrhythmia. And it was something that they had to go in and kind of cut a certain area off to get the electrical going again on pattern. And I need some wood. Since then, it has not happened, and I thank God. But it all goes back to knowing, all right, you got to change your lifestyle, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, and as corny and boring as it might be, my family needs me. My community needs me. I need to be around to be able to do more. And I just kind of woke up and I never went back to sleep.
I mean, I love it. Thank God for second chances. Thank God for your wife saying and doing all she did to make that happen.
Yeah.
You mentioned the community needing you. I might be wrong in this question.
Mm-hmm.
Concerned Fathers of Wheatley Heights and Chess Club.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Man, it's when I joined Concerned Fathers, I think it was one of those things, like how I said, things kind of just came together.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the original pieces that made me say I want to do more in my community.
Yes.
And it was so sincere because I knew that my son needed something also. Not my oldest one. My oldest one is at ASU. The smaller one, he needed something. And chess was what he needed.
Yes.
And I swear he takes me off the board now. Like he
How
is
old
amazing.
Is he?
He's 9.
How old was he when he started?
He was 5.
All right.
Yeah,
when do y'all do this?
every quarter we actually have something. So we have a spring session, we have a summer session. We might take off summer this year, but we have a spring session, summer session, fall, and then we have winter.
All right.
So we do it very strategically. It's usually about 4 weeks, and we just pour into the kids, bro.
All right. Invite me. My grandson is coming. His dad plays chess, but him being
nice.
in that environment, chess is the game of life.
Yeah.
Figuring things out.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Show major love in the comments for my brother, Kyle Booker. Thank you so much for tuning in. You should have got a lot of jewels. I should see diamonds and everything in there.
That's a fact.
Get in touch with him. Follow him everywhere on social.
Yeah.
Click on his IG. Find his link. Get on his free classes on Thursdays. What time on Thursdays?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
And the link is in the bio for the free classes. If you just go to Booker's Real Estate Solutions on IG, link in the bio. I always put it in my stories also every Wednesday and Thursday. So you could just have an easy click.
Get on it. Start the conversations Mother's Day. Start the conversation Memorial Day. But let's go ahead and land the plane. Once again, we start with gratitude. We end with gratitude. Thank you, and you for tuning in today, whether you're watching it live, whether you're watching at a later date you're listening to it on your favorite podcast platform. Thank you. Big shout out to my sponsor, B-File Systems, all of my insurance agent family, my insurance agent community. Check out B-File Systems. Thank me later. They'll help you with your retention. They'll grow your new business, and they'll change the game in your agency. I always say my latest and my last thanks to all of you that are subscribed already. Thank you. If you enjoy the content we produced today, subscribe, send it to a friend, tell a friend, and tell more of them to subscribe so we can keep this thing going. And remember, at the Wine Down with Kev podcast, we make AI easy, and we look forward to working with you and helping you in any way we can. God bless. Stay blessed by the best. Peace.
Peace.